Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you guys are doing well today. Another day, another video, right? Let me start by apologizing. It's raining outside, so I'm hoping my mic is audible enough. I hope so. And yeah, I hope the noise isn't too distracting. I tried my best to insulate and to make the room as soundproof as possible. So yeah, again, thank you so much for tuning into another video. If it's your first time viewing my videos, I would like to say thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing down below. It really does help me out a lot. And if you are a member that is returning, once again, thank you so much for the continued support. I really appreciate it. Okay, so for today's video, I wanted to touch on a topic that I briefly spoke about in a previous video. The video that was on why people wear jewelry, and I touched a little bit on the hip hop scene and rappers wearing jewelry. So I thought I should make an extended video on that and focus specifically on why it is that rappers wear jewelry. So that's what today's video is going to be about. I want to kind of give a breakdown and understanding as to why it is that rappers do wear jewelry. And so, I hope that does sound interesting to you. And if it does, please do stay tuned. Okay, so we can start with the most obvious reason as to why rappers wear jewelry, and that is to show off their wealth and their success. So jewelry has always been a symbol of status and wealth. And rappers have kind of taken this concept and, taken it to the next level with their elaborate and extravagant jewelry pieces. This is where I touched on in a previous video when I was talking about rappers wearing jewelry to show how far they've come. Rappers, generally speaking, come from very disadvantaged backgrounds, and they grew up not having any money. So as a way to show that they have come a long way in life, they chose to wear very elaborate jewelry pieces, very expensive jewelry pieces, and have them embellished in diamonds and very expensive other gemstones. And that's kind of one of the first reasons why rappers decide to wear jewelry, is to show their status and their wealth. That's the first reason. The second reason would be for artistic expression. So, wearing jewelry, whether you're a rapper or not, is a way to express your individuality and your creativity. And rappers have taken this concept as well and, made it into their own. Jewelry can become an extension of a rapper's personal style, and it can be used to showcase their unique artistic vision. From custom-made pieces to one-of-a-kind designs, jewelry is a way for a rapper to stand out and to make a statement. So this whole concept of artistic expression was first started, I think, by a rapper by the name of Slick Rick. Slick Rick is from the late 80s, early 90s. That's when Slick Rick came out, and he used to wear pieces that were so grand and so big, to a point where, I struggled to imagine how he managed to even stand up. That's how big these pieces are, and to kind of keep his head up. He took the example of, I'm going to show how much money I have, and he took it to a level that even to this day, I don't think there are people who wear as much jewelry as Slick Rick did in those times, late 80s, early 90s. Someone like Big Daddy Kane is another example. He's also from that era. He also used to wear a lot of really big, heavy jewelry. And what you'll notice about these two guys, and also from that time, the jewelry was all yellow gold. That's kind of what the status was during those times. Yellow gold was the way to go when it came to jewelry, rappers' jewelry from that time. So I think they were the first to really take it to that level. There were rappers before them who would wear jewelry. Also, it was yellow gold. Run DMC, they made the rope chain quite popular during those times. People like LL Cool J also would wear some jewelry, but no one would take it to the level that Slick Rick and Big Daddy Kane did. They really took it to that level that, as I say, to this day, people have not taken it to that kind of level. So artistic expression is a very big part of why rappers wear jewelry. Another reason would be for cultural significance. So this kind of touches on a point that I made in a previous video. I'll have that video linked up above here so you can go and check that out, where I spoke about cultural significance as well in that video. The wearing of jewelry also has cultural significance in the world of rap. Okay, in some African American communities, jewelry is used to show pride in your heritage and also in your cultural roots. For example, wearing a cross necklace or wearing grills in your teeth can be a representation of this pride. So as I mentioned in the video that I was speaking about earlier on, if you look at the history of African kings and African cultures from centuries ago, kings in places such as Ghana would wear jewelry that basically embellished their whole hand. So they would have rings all over on every single finger on their hands, and they'd also be wearing a lot of neck pieces and crowns, and all of this jewelry was made in gold. So I believe, whether the rappers knew it or not, I think they were kind of touching on those cultural heritage that happened during those times, and that's where the idea of wearing such large and grand pieces came from. Because if you do look at these African kings that I'm mentioning now, they wouldn't be out of place in hip hop in those times, in the late 80s, early 90s. They'd fit right in. And I think that's where these rappers really took inspiration from. So there's a lot of cultural significance in the way that these rappers of today and obviously of yesteryear used jewelry to express themselves. So its cultural significance is a very big one. Another reason would be for making a statement, and I think this is quite a big one. Jewelry is used by rappers to make a statement and to also challenge societal norms, from diamond-studded watches to gold chains, diamond-studded earrings, to grills. Rappers have taken the traditional symbols of wealth and success, and they've kind of flipped it on its head and made it into their own. They've put their own spin on it. They use jewelry to push the boundaries and challenge what is considered acceptable and what is considered as a normal thing in mainstream society. So, I think if you think about what it means to be an artist, especially in hip hop, in rap, to be considered as the best rapper or to be considered as the best hip hop artist or just artist in general, there has to be something that stands out about you. You have to have that X factor. And as a musician, or as a in this case as a hip hop artist, the whole package has to be concise and has to be on point. It has to speak to one another. So if you are somebody that is rapping and you have a lot of attitude and you have a lot of things to say and things that get people thinking, the way that you dress and the way that you are has to make a statement. The message that you are portraying in your music has to be the same kind of statement that what you have on your body is doing. Both of those things have to speak together. So wearing jewelry, and it doesn't have to be as big as the Big Daddy Kane and Slick Rick, because rappers today don't wear jewelry that is as big as those guys used to wear, but it still makes a statement and it's still something that when you see this jewelry piece, it's a recognizable symbol. So for instance, someone like Jay-Z, there's a piece, it's the logo of his record label. Every time there's a new artist that joins his record label, they get given that neck piece, which is the logo of his record label, to show that they are now part of the Rockefeller family. That's the name of his record label. So it's a way of making a statement that I belong to this record label, and that's who I am aligned to. So those kinds of things are another reason why rappers would wear jewelry. And of course, another reason, the final reason that I have, is to memorialize your success. So jewelry serves as a way for rappers to memorialize their success and their achievements. So a piece of jewelry can become a tangible representation of a rapper's hard work and dedication to their craft. It is a way to commemorate their journey and also to remember their accomplishments. So memorializing your success is important, especially for a rapper, because as I mentioned earlier on, you need to present yourself as a complete brand, from the message that you're bringing out to the pieces of jewelry and the clothes that you wear. The jewelry is a way of memorializing the success that you've had. It gets me thinking of a documentary that I was watching featuring Jacob Arabo, who runs Jacob & Co., and Pharrell Williams, who is a member of the Neptunes. They are for those that don't know, the Neptunes is a group they're a production group. So they used to produce music for different artists, and they also used to make their own music as well. And Pharrell is one of the best producers, hip hop, not only just hip hop, he produces for all genres, and he's one of the best music producers, ever. So they have this documentary where in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, Pharrell was the first rapper to actually start using colorful stones in his pieces. And the person who made the pieces for him was Jacob Arabo. He's known as Jacob the Jeweler. Funny story actually about Jacob the Jeweler. When I was graduating university, I applied to go and work for him. He had an office in New York, and he's one of the reasons I decided to go into jewelry design as a career, because of the work that he would do, even as early as then, the early 2000s, when I wasn't even sure what I wanted to do. Jacob the Jeweler caught my eye immediately because of the kind of work that he did. The work it's artwork. If I'm gonna put it plainly, it's artwork. And the work that he did for Pharrell, which is shown in this documentary I'm talking about, shows the evolution of where Pharrell came from, being such a brave person to decide, okay, I'm gonna have a piece that's that big, and I'm gonna have different color stones in it, and I'm gonna make sure that it spins. It's gonna be something that people have never seen before. Remember, this was also the time where people were moving away from yellow gold, and now we're starting to move more into white gold and platinum. So the yellow was taking a bit of a backseat. And I think ever since then, up until to this day, if you look at any of the current rappers of today, a lot of them have moved away from yellow gold and are using white gold or platinum. And Pharrell was, I believe, the pioneer of that. And also the colorful stones are now also being used quite a lot ever since that time. So Jacob the Jeweler and Pharrell Williams kind of started that trend. And this documentary is quite interesting. And if I find it, I'll have it linked down below so that you can also check it out and see what I mean. So, Jacob the Jeweler, when it comes to the jewelry industry in general, he's one of the GOATs. And I applied to work for his company, and he responded. I don't know if it was him that responded. It might have been somebody in his team. And they said, no, there weren't any vacancies available at the time. But thank you for applying. If anything does open up, we'll let you know. They didn't let me know. I think they're very busy. So that was quite a great thing. I wasn't even expecting a response to come from him. So yeah, that was quite a great moment for me as well, to be able to get a response from Jacob the jeweler. And so just kind of the point of that whole story is Jacob helped Pharrell to memorialize his success, and also it shows the growth that Pharrell had from where he started up until the time he is at right now. And yes, so there you have it. That is my brief overview of why I believe rappers wear jewelry. Whether it's to show off their wealth and success, or to express their individuality and creativity, to celebrate their cultural heritage, to make a statement, or to commemorate their achievements. Jewelry has become an integral part of the hip-hop scene, and I'm very happy to have been able to witness the evolution of what jewelry has meant to rappers and how it has evolved over time in the hip-hop game. As I said, I am also a hip-hop fan myself, so to see the evolution has also been quite good for me. So yes, so that's my video for today. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please don't forget to like this video and comment down below as well what your favorite rappers' jewelry pieces are, and we can have a discussion around that. And please, if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel quite a bit. That's about it from me for today. Up until we meet again, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Peace.